My name is Ashley Reyes, and my future goal is to become a federal judge, where I will be appointed by the president in the district court. But in order to become a judge, I must first go through many years of being a prosecutor, and hopefully also becoming a criminal investigator. This presentation will show you all there is to know about how calculus is in the field of the criminal justice. Calculus is the mathematical study of change in the same way that geometry is the study of shape. It has two major branches: differential calculus, concerning rates of change and slopes of curves, and integral calculus, concerning accumulation of quantities in the areas under and between curves. These two branches are related to each other by the fundamental theorem of calculus. Both branches make use of the fundamental notions of convergence, of infinite sequences, and infinite series to a well-defined limit. There are many different uses in real life using calculus. Economists use calculus to determine the right time to buy or sell something. Credit card companies use the differential type of calculus to calculate minimum payments. In the field of criminal justice, marginal analysis is used. It's the process of identifying the benefits and costs of different alternatives. Lawyers can use this when solving problems in their firm involving money. Another form is differential equations and integrals. They're the equations of motion, which allow officers to figure out many things in a crime scene. It's used in ballistics, blood spatter, trajectories, accident reconstruction, and radar. Gottfried Leibniz from the 1700s was a German mathematician and philosopher. He was an assessor in the Court of Appeals also. He developed calculus independently of Isaac Newton, and his mathematical notation has been widely used ever since it was published. He became one of the most inspiring inventors in the field of mechanical calculators, even though he was a lawyer. Pierre de Fermat from the 1600s was a French lawyer and amateur mathematician who was given credit for an early development that led to infinitesimal calculus, including his technique of adequacy. In particular, he is recognized for his discovery of an original method of finding the greatest and the smallest ordinates of curved lines, which is close to differential calculus, which therefore led into the number theory. Knowing calculus in the courtroom is helpful because if you know the concepts yourself, it's easier to explain without using an expert witness and explain it to the jury where they understand. Most juries don't want to hear a boring old mathematician explain complex math issues. However, knowing the concepts yourself will make it easier on you as the attorney and on the courtroom. Knowing such complex information will give the jury a sense of trust towards you due to your superior knowledge, which will therefore increase your chances of winning the case. Calculus is used in trajectories of projectiles because it helps figure out many of the questions dealing in a crime scene. If a guy threw a large rock at someone's head from a distance, investigators can use calculus to find the range, maximum height, parabolic path, and angle of the thrower. All this helps police to find the culprit. Calculus is used in blood splatter analysis. Size and the force of impact are the only two aspects of determining information about blood splatters. Calculus is used to determine the shapes of blood splatters. Analysis use strings, trig functions, and computer programs to map out a blood-splattered crime scene using calculus also. Blood behaves in much the same way as those spilled water droplets. A low-velocity splatter is usually the result of dripping blood. A medium-velocity splatter is one that has a force of anywhere from 5 to 100 feet per second. This type of splatter can be used by a blunt object, such as a bat or an intense beating with a fist. High-velocity splatters are usually caused by gunshot wounds, although they can be caused by other weapons if they have extreme amount of force. They travel more than 100 feet per second and usually look like a fine spray of tiny droplets, less than 1 millimeter in diameter. Another use of calculus in the criminal justice field is accident reconstruction. It's a scientific process of investigating, analyzing, and drawing conclusions about the causes and events during a vehicle crash. Officers are employed to conduct an in-depth crash analysis and reconstruction to identify the cause of the crash and contributing factors in different types of crashes, including the role of the driver, vehicle, roadway, and the environment. Accident reconstruction uses the velocity change, the area of the crash, closing velocity, and impact velocity. All this deals with calculus. Who would have thought calculus had anything to do with a speeding ticket? Policemen use calculus in speed traps along the road. Officers' primary tools are radar guns. This tool is a transmitter and receiver of a radio signal. The calculations the radar gun uses when detecting a car's speed requires differential calculus. It is the rate that the car's position is changing at a given instant. The radar gun measures the speed of a car at the exact moment when it falls into the speed trap. From this information, cops are able to write speeding tickets. This concept uses the mean value theorem. This theorem allows policemen to find a point where the average speed is equal to the instantaneous speed. For example, if officers using a speed trap to calculate the average speed of a car as 100 miles per hour, then the mean value theorem states that at the same moment on the road, the car was going that same speed. This theorem of calculus is very important for policemen in their work, so next time when you get pulled over for speeding, you can lay some of the blame on calculus. On the other hand, calculus can help catch a speeding car that could have crashed and taken someone's life. So in conclusion, be thankful for calculus. Without calculus, we wouldn't be able to complete or have such an advanced understanding about many important applications that our world operates with. Calculus is used in numerous applications in our lives. When in high school, it may seem as though calculus doesn't help us in our present lives, but as we begin our careers later in life, we will discover the importance of this branch of mathematics. Calculus applies to many jobs, even the most unexpected, such as a police officer and a lawyer.